Hey guys, welcome back to another awesome episode where this was a bit of a new one. We're going to do a caster's opinion piece for the call-in.
Yeah.
And it's the first time No, it isn't the first time me and Tripp's done this.
Well, I was going to say, we've kicked Simon off because we were just like, sorry, Simon. He's not got any good... I don't know if you've heard Simon and what's hot, what's not, but his opinions, they're just not up to scratch.
No, so they're not, man.
I thought we'd just get the cream of the crop for this video.
No, he's actually doing... He's doing D&D, so we just thought we would just crack on and do it.
Yeah, he's doing Dungeons and Dragons. We can't talk about Dungeons and Dragons. I was like, it's so difficult to not just go to a full podcast. But no, we actually have a focused video to do for you guys.
We're trying. We're still trying now to this day. So we want to give a couple of opinion pieces, and we're just going to flex our competitive side of things because we actually do play this game quite a lot. We're not playing the call-in, but I actually have some real good, if I was going to go to the call-in, what would I take? What would I expect? What do I think is good? All that sort of stuff. And so, so will you, Tripp, even though I know you just, I actually would be intrigued. I have got a couple of questions to ask you because I know you're a ninja boy, but
very much so.
I know.
I was going to say, it's like normally content creators, they're playing in the tournament. They're not going to give you their real actual take.
Yeah.
Well, who knows? Whatever. Yeah. But we're not playing. So we're going to give you your completely unadulterated, what we would be considering if we were playing in this tournament, because we've got no skin in the game. So
yeah, that's it. So I suppose I want to start off with saying the boogeyman of the whole thing is, I think we both, before we hit record, agreed that I think the best hero in this meta who's going to pretty much do really well and be the most represented is Lexi, right? What's your... Yeah,
I think Lexi's like the bar. You gotta be able to beat Lexi. I think we've always seen this in tournaments. There's always a hero that's very well represented, and normally because they're very strong. Like Starvo or Chain or Five for a bit, right? And you need to have a plan for Lexi, and I think Lexi's going to do really well, especially in the Swiss. And it's a really long Swiss that they're calling. There's no draft to kind of sort the wheat from the chaff, really.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of CC games, and I think Lexi's going to do really well over a really long period of classic constructed rounds. So,
yeah, absolutely. She's the bar. So where do we go from there? I have one of my picks as well. I would say is going to be really high out the gate is Dromai. I think Dromai is she kind of feels like the Prism, right? Remember when it was Starvo, and who's good against Starvo? Well, it's Prism, because they can't deal with all this board state. So Prism is still trying to be understood in this meta. So Dromai is now who struggles with all these board presence, board state. It's me, so it's her this time.
Yeah, I think so, and I think we were expecting Prism, the sort of OG illusionist, before we saw the cards from Dusk Till Dawn. We were expecting Prism to come back in a major way, and we felt that's going to hit Dromai because of the permeancy of the Spectra auras compared to the dragons. It felt like that was going to be that was going to take Dromai out of the running almost. But that's not really what we're predicting. I think when we may see a few Prisms, and I will get onto this in a bit, where I think that actually Prism may have a place, but I don't think the meta has got to the point where Prism's going to come back in a major way. But I think Dromai is the illusionist. Dromai does really well into Lexi, and I think that opens up. I think we said this on our podcast on What's Hot Ones. No, I was talking about the increase in the number of Dromai will open up space for Katsu and Fi as ninja heroes to prey upon and give them a bit of an edge, because they can get game into Lexi. It's a really tough matchup, don't get me wrong. But they can get game into Lexi, and then they can feed on those Dromais. That could be really good. I have a prediction that I think Dromai is really, really strong. I don't think we're going to see that many Dromai.
Ooh, okay. I disagree with you there.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a fair few.
I think there will be a few. I don't think it's going to be the most... I don't think it's going to... This is a hard thing to say.
Would you say she's not going to be in the top 4 most played decks?
I think not in the top 3.
No, I said you don't think in the
Yeah.
top 3. Okay, so
I think that could be literally the 4th most represented deck.
oh, interesting. So what would you?
Yeah.
I'd put Dromai down. I wouldn't be shocked if it was either Dromai or Bravo. So I can imagine.
Yeah, Bravo's
Well,
the
should
other
we
one.
move? Yeah, we'll move on
We'll
to
get onto
Bravo.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
intrigued who your top 3 picks would have been. But yeah, let's move on to Bravo. Man, this guy, it's Guardians. Guardians cannot be put down in this game ever. Turns out the way Guardians play in Flesh and Blood is very effective. It's good blocking, on hits, big attacks, slow gameplay, forces you to be into this mid-range point. Oldham's gone, and you said, oh, what's not? Bravo's not game, and I said he is totally game.
yeah,
and he is game.
He was good, and I was wrong, and I'm here to come back and sort of
Apologize.
beg Bravo's forgiveness, because turns out Starstruck, right? That's the new one, Starstruck. It's like Bravo needed one more, right? You had your crippling crushes, had your spinal crushes, had some other good, like had pulverize, but kind of like had these sort of smaller ones that they were playing in certain matchups, like you can only play. You can't play, like it was like base 3 or something.
It was
like
Zealous Beltons and
can't gain like attack.
like
stuff
choke
like
slam
that.
and
Yeah,
stuff
like those little things, which were good, but they weren't as good as Starstruck is, with basically just shutting down your entire turn if you don't block. And the one thing that I picked up on when I was playing a bunch of Katsu into Lexi was Lexi does not have equipment block, because they can't block with their headpiece.
No.
That ends the game basically for them. They can't block with their tunic because that's their 3 of a kind enabler.
It's just one block, it really is so ineffective.
And they run snaps on their boots.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so I know they're going to have to give me cards to stop on hits. And Bravo now has some incredibly impactful on hits. And without a bit of armor to sort of protect you against potential dominate coming out of Bravo, Bravo could just start rolling you.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it, because you can now just keep drawing into a crippling or a spine or a starstruck. You can just keep going and going and going. And like the problem with Bravo is it would beat you down until the point that the Bravo player didn't draw the relevant attacking card that they needed.
Yeah.
And then it would switch and you'd be back in the game. But now it feels like Bravo has enough to make it work.
Yeah, I think so. It's not as crazy as Oldham was, right? Because Oldham could literally switch on the dime of going, Rampart and Crown of Seeds does a lot of work, and then I will block, and then come in with a really big impactful attack, and then keep going and keep going. And that's really what Guardians want to do. But Bravo's got to do that without the joys of having Crown of Seeds and Rampart. So he's actually, what I'm starting to see now, he's moving into the Shield and Titans Fist. Like it's not the same, almost the same, just to sort of go, I could block 2 on the shield, 2 on the chest piece, 2 on the hands, and 2 on the head, and just go, like, I don't block with my hand. I've got literally my entire equipment to do this. That will bring my tempo back to go, here you go. These are the top 3 decks I think I'm going to play. It is pretty boring. Lexi, Bravo, Dromai is mine, but you don't think it's Dromai. What's your third?
I am gonna say Katsu. So
what?
This is my wild card. I think there's one thing that the UK community loved, and that's Ninja. They love Fi.
Are you not speaking about yourself a bit more?
No.
Come on.
I think Katsu and Fi are last minute. I'm not happy with the hero I've been testing. I'm picking up the Fi deck. I'm picking up my Katsu deck, and I'm going to go to the Calling, and I'm going to play what I know, because I know a lot of people play it. I think Katsu is okay into Lexi and Dromai. I'm a bit worried about Bravo. You could definitely beat old Bravo before Starstruck came on, but Starstruck is so good.
It's like another Spinal, isn't it?
I think a ton of people are going to play Fi because it's just bread and butter. We've got to remember the Calling is not a Pro Tour. The Calling is not Nationals. The Calling is an open event. Anybody can put down their whatever the calling ticket costs, whatever, anyone can pick up their fabled package from Living Realms and put their hand into the ring and say, I'm going to play this tournament. Like, it's not necessarily like you don't have to qualify for it. And I think that means we're going to see a lot of like pet favorite decks coming through with people. They want to come for the weekend. They want to go have a crack at the calling.
You think that is about, there's going to be a very good sizable number, and you think that's going to be Katsu? Or you can't put them both together.
Okay, I'm going to say Katsu.
So you think Katsu is going to? There's going to be a lot, but
it's going
to be honest, it targets Dromai. I give you that. It targets Dromai very well.
And I think people are going to go in, and I think they're going to think they can beat Lexi with Katsu.
And then they're going to go...
Because they're going to play Warmongers. They're going to play the new Warmongers Diplomacy, which fits incredibly well into Katsu. It's a very low opportunity cost to run a 0-cost 3-block blue card, and you can play it out. If you play a particular build of Katsu... with 100 wins instead of Flusterfist, you often end with Go Again, or you're very often able to end with Go Again and then play out the Diplomacy as your last card.
Yeah.
I don't personally think that is going to do that well, but I think people are going to come in and they are going to give it a go. But I think the top Lexi players are going to be able to play around that. I think they're going to run Trench against Katsu every day of the week, which is fantastic for Katsu. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm super happy as a Katsu player if the Lexi is not running Tunic, is running Trench to play around Warmongers. I think they have to do it though, because you can literally brick them and you can't be bricked against Katsu. You'll get blown up if Katsu can just keep a whole hand and do crazy stuff against you. Yeah. And as we mentioned before, Lexi has no equipment block or can't really use its equipment block, so Katsu is having the best day ever. I think good Lexi players will still take those games.
There's 2 heroes in my mind that have kind of broke out. One of them's not super surprising, really. That's been quite hot in Dust Till Dawn. Levia. Levia it's creeping up, right? It's not winning, but it's not a joke hero anymore. Do you think? What's your thoughts on Levia getting performance in the calling?
It's really interesting because I kind of forgotten about Levia, and I think Levia is definitely not where they were.
No,
but they're not breaking through in a way I think people thought.
Well, I thought they are, to be honest. I actually think they are breaking through to that point of actually this is a hero that is going to consistently get into top 8s now.
Do you think consistently though? Yeah. Do you think that? Because I
do actually.
I think it will get into top 8s.
I think it is because I think she's now slotted herself quite nicely into the realm of kind of like Bravo realm now. You know where Bravo never wins enough events, but you wouldn't be shocked to see Bravo in a top 8. Like, you just see a Bravo in a top 8 and you go, yeah, of course, right? There's always a Bravo hanging around in a top 8. Does he win it? Probably not, but he gets there. And I think Levia is that new hero that has just got enough really good raw tools, a really awesome new hero ability to flip and become like a chain for like a good couple of turns to go, right, yeah. And it does come out with some bonkers 26 damage like levels of play. That's actually not too inconsistent to pull off. You can set those sort of stuff up. When you play Dread Screamer, you get that in the bin. Dread Screamer gets into that banished zone. It sits there waiting for you to flip into consumed. And you could go, well, I've got 2 Dread Screamers ready to go on the flip. And then you go, Dread Screamer attack. And then I've actually got this Art of War in. I know it sounds like, whoa, this sounds like magical Christmas land.
It works, though. It does work.
Yeah, it's massive. Or a Blood Rush Bellow turn.
Yeah, Blood Rush is Blood Rush pretty good.
Yeah, Blood Rush is bonkers. Pretty good card. So I think that's why I think if you said would Levia win the tournament, I don't actually know what hero is going to win the tournament. I think the meta is quite open, but I think Levia is going to be in the top 8.
So I think I don't think that's outside the realms of possibility. I think this is the tournament though. Like, I think this is where we're going to see it. Like, if we're going to see it, I think we're going to see it now. I think we've seen a little bit of it at the Battle Hardens. But I think this is the tournament where we're going to find out whether Levia can really is the hero you're saying. It is the not the new Bravo, but is on that level of like a
I
consistent
can,
top eighting hero.
yeah,
And I
absolutely.
think that's what we're going to find out. That's why this thing that's calling is so exciting because I think there's a couple of heroes where we're going to find out. And I actually think Bravo is still one of those heroes. Like
Yeah.
I don't think Bravo is actually properly broken out yet. And I think Bravo could break out here. I think Levitt could break out here. So what was your second hero that you think could be? Because you said two, didn't
Well,
you? You said
yeah.
Levia and
Another one that's kind of broke out, and I will keep this third little wild card of what from Raya's performance, Icelander as well.
yeah,
Just like I think that's the real super curveball. Everyone's like, "What is this real?" But
yeah,
Briar,
yeah. So
Briar,
I actually quite like Briar.
Briar. Yeah, it's weird because Viscerai, and I will say this if everyone, I've had one or two people ask me now on Discord, do I take Viscerai to the calling? I would say I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to take him purely because of the Warmongers. Warmongers is, I know I'm backtracking now because I was like, that
yeah,
card's
I
rubbish.
know.
I don't care.
Yeah,
It is enough. It
yeah,
is an Arctic incarceration levels of enough. If someone dropped Arctic incarceration on me as Viscerai, it is like, yeah, it's enough. It's not going to stop me, but it's enough to just go, sure, okay.
yeah. It can really take your
It's
tempo
not as
away.
bad as Arctic incarceration, in my opinion, because it is that card that goes, oh, you can't do two things. It's like, well, I really couldn't do two things anyway. Here's an attack. Whereas Arctic incarceration can go, well, I guess I can't do anything. So both of these cards are flying around like mad at the minute. It is
Yeah,
just not safe at all. He can blow out. He can do his blowout. Everyone knows the blowout, but it's not enough. And what's turning Briar around for me is that you're just watching people just go, you know what? Have a rabble for 4, and then have another like a lightning surge. Is it or lightning? What's the one? The lightning
yeah.
card that
Like
gives you
lightning surge from like
Arsenal,
Arsenal,
and
like
then snatch.
swarming, like whatever. Like you get an on
Yeah,
hit, you play your swarming, you play
it's
your snap.
so vanilla, but it's just well, that's a 3 card 12. You're like,
And
okay,
yeah, and
it's
the
not
other thing is
sexy.
that it's quite rare for Briar to set up Mount Heroic and pop off in the same turn.
Mm,
Like it's much more likely for them to take an off turn, set up a mountain, and then on the next turn they just play as many attack actions as they can. So the Warmongers doesn't hit that as much.
no,
It does stop Force of Nature, which is really good. Force of Nature is a very annoying
but
card to deal with,
it's
but
not the
like
worst. It's not the worst sort of time walk. But it's like
no.
it's a trip hazard, and you go, yeah. Briar gets affected the least. So this is
Um,
as Roombo players, she's kind of becoming very relevant. Plus, Yanji, he swore dead that this is the best deck in the tournament, and it was really when you watch it, it was actually like, I don't know what you've done, but this is some. I don't know. It just seems
I
to.
think it's just
It's
it's
just
just
so
a good
strong.
look. We gotta remember it's like a really fresh meta, right?
Yeah.
Like I think stuff like that does do well against fresh decks. Like the Battle Hardens, like, these are the first like major tournaments with the
Hmm.
new set. Like we're gonna see Jang, we're gonna see weird stuff. People are still refining everything, and like I think stuff like Briar can do well. I don't think Briar's gonna do that well at the
I also will agree. I think Briar.
yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked if I saw one. If I saw
Oh
one,
yeah, there'd be a few.
yeah,
There'd be
yeah.
plenty.
I
There'd be
think there'd
plenty. I
be.
think there'd be quite a few actually, but like I don't think they'll do so
I'd love to actually.
well.
I'd love to at the calling, and if anyone wants to know, I'd love to just go. Yeah, we look at the top 8, but I think it's really important we actually look at the top 16. What were these 8
Yeah.
decks that were close, and everyone just writes them off. I'm like, no, bro, they're like a win off. These heroes are so relevant, and I think Briar will actually be within that mix of so close. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so. I think, well, I'm not sure if I think so,
Okay, well,
but
all
like,
right.
I agree
What's
with your opinion. I think your opinion is very valid, but I'm not
I've got
personally
solid
sure.
theory. Solid
It's a
theory.
good theory. It's a
Yeah.
good theory. Yeah.
What about you? What do you think your 2 breakouts are? And then we'll
Yeah.
end it there.
I
So much for a 10-minute
this
video,
is
everyone.
this is so wild, but I do think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see a Prism do really
No,
well.
we're not. But Brew,
I think it's gonna
so
happen.
I
I don't
don't
think.
agree with your theory.
I think we're gonna see one, just
One.
and everyone is gonna be talking about it. Everyone's gonna be like, "Have you heard?
Have you
there's a
heard?
prism on the top tables, and the Bravo players are going to be like, "Oh my god,
No.
what do we do?" And then they're going to remember it doesn't have Luminaris, but they're still going to be like, "Oh god,
Oh
what are we going to
god,
do?" I think that there's so much disrespect for Prism that I think a Iris Prism
okay.
with
But
32
it's just
health
gonna get battered by Lexi.
is gonna ride the Swiss gauntlet and is gonna make it happen.
Okay.
I don't think. Again, tell you what. You can have your Briar for your top 16.
That's actually not.
And
I've actually got facts backing this up.
And I'm gonna go with my purely vibes-based prediction of Prism in the top 16.
Bro, I would have turned around and said
Vincent. Who's gonna win?
Vincent's
Cold
not
hard
figured out.
fact or hot vibes
Oh.
coming right here. This is what you got to decide, guys.
Okay,
What are you gonna
sure.
Vincent, I have no idea. Like, if someone's cracked Vincent, well done.
Yeah.
Like, I could see Vincent winning it, genuinely, because somebody has been in the lab and has just cracked it, and we just don't see it coming. I mean, people have tried, and I don't know anyone who's cracked it. Maybe I do, maybe they haven't told me, but like, I don't see it, but I think that's a crazy. Like, I think someone could win the whole thing with Vincent if they work something out. But
I agree.
We haven't worked out, but
Like the Briar of UK Nats.
yeah, exactly.
Like, whoa, what is
Everyone's
this?
like, oh
Huh?
wait, why is there like 6 people on this exact same Vincent build?
And why is it? Yeah.
And
What is-
like, oh.
Okay, fair enough. So would you? So your takes are
Prism. And did I say anything else? I don't think I said anything else beyond Prism. I think
Do you agree with
I say
Levia?
Levia, yeah. I just gotta do well, right?
Final
So,
four Icelander, 2 wins by Rhea. Is this coming in? Is Europe going to implement this?
I just don't know how Rhea's done it, to be honest. Wait till you get the interview and push the point with Rhea when there were 2 battle hardens, so she can tell us how she managed to do it. I don't understand. I'm sure, yeah, because why not? Why would you not predict that the hero that won the 2 battle hardens would do well at the calling? And yet I can't. You gotta watch the interview, right? We gotta watch the interview with Rhea, see what she managed to. Because I don't know if she did anything crazy. I think people just forgot how Icelander. I don't want to take anything away because they're really good players, but like, did we just forget how Icelander works?
Yeah. Oh yeah, this guy.
That's what we would do. We'd be like, oh yeah, she can play on my turn.
Shadow Mount Frigid. Whoa, that card
Oh,
has
yeah, that
always
card's
been
so
broken.
good. It's really hard to play a Rain Razor's Art of Free of a Counter when everything costs 1 resource.
What do you mean I can't play?
What's going on? What? Playing Warmongers on your opponent's turn when they don't know what's going to be in the next hand? Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good, man. It's pretty good.
Can I just say?
No, you can't.
As though Simon's not here, but I'll just say for Simon.
Can I just say? Oh yeah.
How great is it that we have like this conversation? We've talked about like 8 different heroes, right? Like that could do really well. Like, can you remember back in the like Starvo days when we were like, who's gonna win it? It's
Chain,
like,
Starvo,
Prism or Chain. And then it was like, yep, okay. Maybe an Ice Lexi will do really well this time. And it's like, now we're talking about like tons of different heroes. It's really exciting time. And of course the meta's gonna settle and we're gonna have like best deck and format at some point. Like, and maybe it is just Lexi, maybe we already know it, but like, it's so exciting to go into this tournament with like you could pick up any hero. Like we said with Vincent, if you've cracked it, you could win the whole thing, right? Like there's still heroes out there that people are just gonna be like, I have no idea what this hero is trying to do to me because I don't know what they've built, the way they've built it. They stop playing cards, and you're like, why are you playing that thing? And that's gonna make casting really, really hard, but really, really fun.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to it.
I hope you enjoyed this, everybody. Looking forward to seeing you all at the Calling. Come check us out if you're already there. I hope you enjoy the coverage. We've got plenty of entertainment coming. Stay tuned. Tune in on Tabletop 24. Hit that notification button so you don't miss out.
See you on Friday. To the Calling. Bye.